Hi, my name is Angel Scott, and today I am teaching you all a strategy to help students with letter naming, which directly corresponds to reading and spelling. So once students are knowledgeable and are able to recognize and identify all the letters, this means that they will be more liable to be good readers. So first, I would like to talk about how there are some letters who don't say its name. So we have the letter B, and the letter B directly says its name in its initial in the initial sound. And then you have letters like F that has it in the final sound. But then you have the letters that don't say its name at all. And those letters are H, Y, and W. Those letters do not have do not say its name at all. So these are typically the letters that are harder for students to identify and analyze and recognize when they hear it in words. So this is a strategy. So the strategy that I am going to go over is a mnemonic for helping students to recognize this letter, which in turn, like I said, helps with reading and spelling abilities. So this integrated picture mnemonic starts off with a cute house. I enjoy myself, so cute. But notice that this house is in the shape of a letter H. So it starts off with a cute house. And students are going to identify this picture. So I'll say, what did I just draw? And students will say a house. And then I'll say, what is the initial sound in the letter house? And they would say, and then I would ask more probing questions like, what letter makes the sound like the students will tell me the letter H, and I would like, yes, that is correct, that is good. So then I would ask more probing questions like, what is the first sound in the letter H? Just keep asking questions to embed this into their memory. So next, I would get students to draw a picture of a house as well. And when they draw a picture of a house, I think I already drew one. Yes, my house picture. This picture is not that cute. So when they draw this picture, I would try to keep in mind that this picture is a representation of a house, but also the letter H makes the sound, and it's the initial sound in the word house. So then I'll tell students, you draw me a house. Students, this is my student drawing of a house. The students would draw their house, and then they would just draw it and just make it good. Then I would tell students to flip their paper over and draw me a house from memory. So this way I can assess if students are retaining the information that they just learned. So I would say, draw me a house without looking at the previous side because they have their paper flipped from memory. So students would draw a house. So then I would ask, what did you just draw? What is the first sound in house? What is this? All pertaining to the letter H and the sound that it makes. Because the key purpose or the sole purpose is to map the sound with the symbol or the symbol to the sound. I want students to know that to identify this letter as an H, that's the grapheme, that's the symbol. But I also want them to know that the grapheme makes the phoneme. I want them to be knowledgeable of that. So after the process of making a letter H, now I'll have then I'll give the students a traceable H. And I kind of already traced my H. Here it goes. I kind of already, because this is the third step, I kind of already traced my H already, but I would have students trace a letter H. But not just any tracing. I would show them how I trace the letter H using the skills, using the techniques of going down, going up, and going over, but more importantly, not lifting the pencil or my pen in this case off the paper. So I would say, students, I am drawing a letter H. Watch me. So then I would say I go down, then come back up halfway, and then go over. and keep saying this to embed this into students' memory. So once I do this step and I ask students, what sound is the letter H? What sound does the letter H make? What letter makes the sound? Keep doing this over and over again to help students practice this. To help students practice the skill over and over and over again. So after students finish practicing this skill, we'll review just that moment, like the H makes this sound, the letter the word house, the initial sound is the sound, and the H it corresponds with that sound. So then the next day, before introducing a new letter, we'll review the previous activity, which we did yesterday would be the introduction of the letter H, the sound, the mnemonic, which is the picture to help them further remember that the house is in the shape of, we just drew a house in the shape of an H. And this house has the initial H sound in the beginning. So we're trying to build this into their memory. So when review day comes, we'll ask students to draw this integrated picture, which is the house. And we'll see if they really retain the information, if they can apply it to the next day. And if it was like not something that they caught on, but it was something that was able to be embedded into their memory. So the 3 steps for this is to teach students the letter H and to map it to integrated picture mnemonic. So to map it, and also to map the sound or the phoneme with the grapheme, which is the sound, to the letter H. So the first step is we have a house. We want students to identify this picture. So once students identify this picture, we ask them, okay, they tell us that this picture is in a house, and we ask students, what is the first sound in the letter, in the word house, and then they tell us, and we go back and forth asking more probing questions. Then we have students to draw the second step. We have students to draw their own house. One from looking at the picture of my house or whatever house that I have displayed at the moment. Well, yes, the house that I drew. And then the other would be to draw their own house blindly to see if they're actually, we're giving them an informal assessment within an activity, basically. Just a short, quick, draw your own house from memory. And then the third step is we're practicing. Now we need to practice making the letter H. So they're making the letter H. They're identifying that house has the letter H in it because it's the initial sound and it makes the sound. So we're tying that back in. So I make the letter H, and then I teach them, you go down, you go up, and you go over, and then they make the letter H. And we're just going back, and we're just talking about back and forth, repetition, talking about the sound, talking about the letter, da da da. Then the next day, which is the fifth step, because did I go in order? Yes, I think so. So the first step is making the letter H. The second step is making the house. The first step is making the house. The second step is they are making a house. The third step is teaching them how to make the letter H. And then the fourth step is asking them what the letter H stands for the H sound. So building that skill, repeating that skill. And the fourth step is just to come back the next day and review and have them to draw the integrated picture mnemonic again. So yes, this is an easy skill to facilitate in your classroom and to help students with letter naming, which is a very crucial skill to be able to read, to be able to decode and to encode, which are important for students to be able to read and write or read and spell. So yes, I hope this video has helped someone, and bye.